Hi everyone, so welcome back to my channel. I'm Jacqueline Jax and I have art classes. But on this channel, I always do reviews on the best watercolors and brushes because my students really need that help in making those decisions. If you haven't joined my group page, it's linked up below. It's a Facebook group page for beginners in watercolor. And we do everything from talk about different products, what are the best watercolors, brushes, all that kind of stuff that we do on the channel, but also some really neat lessons, and you can get some critiques on your work. And I have a really good time just kind of going through that watercolor group and just seeing what you guys are painting. So it's really fun. So it's not just for my students. You don't have to be one of my students in order to get into the group. You're welcome to come over there and just enjoy it for free. But if you do want to sign up for one of my watercolor classes, you can get those at jacquelinejax.com, and I'll link it below. So right now I have a sketchbook course for beginners that's really fun, and a floral course for beginners that's really fun. So I thought I would do a little painting for you. And one of you guys asked me when I did the last brush review if I had any Princeton Neptune and Aqua Elite and Velvet Touch. So yeah, I do. I mean, I seriously, guys, have like every brush known to man, and I have more coming because I just really love to try out the different brushes, and and it's what I do. So it's definitely a love of mine. I'm never going to give up watercolor. So brushes are definitely an investment that I'm not minding investing in at all. Now, I got these ones, the Aqua Elite and the Neptune, about 4 years ago, and I painted a lot with them when I first got them. They're amazing brushes. They really are. They're beautiful. And even the Velvet Touch, which is a very economical brush, is pretty good too if you're doing details. But if you want to do a lot of loose watercolors, you might struggle with these a bit. You might want to look at like Neptune or even Aqua Elite in some ways. And I'm going to go through not all of these brushes. So if you see a brush here that I don't cover tonight, just leave it in the comment section below and let me know what brush you saw here that you really wanted to see me paint with. I'm ultimately going to tell you what these brushes are in this video, but I'm going to review what's in this watercolor set here by Roman Szmal. And the reason why is because I've been looking for a really great affordable watercolor set that has all of the cool colors in it, that is just an easy pickup for you guys. And right now it's on sale at Jackson's. So I thought I would take a look at some of the colors in this set as I was reviewing the brushes and telling you the difference between the Neptune, which is more of a synthetic squirrel, to the Aqua Elite, which I don't really know that this would be like sable. It's very much like sable. It has a little more snap than squirrel does, but I feel like this is too much snap. I think if you were gonna look at something like that had a similar thing to sable, it would be more like Escoda, some of the Escodas. So you might want to go review that video. But at the same time, the big difference between these three is that this has a ton of snap. It's in synthetic, and this is the Velvet Touch. It has very little water retention though, but a lot of snap. So you can get a lot of color on the brush, but you won't have a lot of water. So it's only going to be good for certain things. And then outside of that, if you're not doing very little details or very small little paintings, you're going to struggle with that a lot more. So that's where we kind of move into the Aqua Elite line. And then the Aqua Elite line is very much like a step up, right? It used to be one of my favorite brushes to paint with when I was doing more detail work. And I think ultimately the reason why was because it had a nice ratio of water to paint. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. And then I fell absolutely in love with the Neptune series. And the Neptune series is more like a synthetic squirrel. So you really get a lot of powerful ability between these two. Do you need the Velvet Touch? Nope, not at all. I probably use these not very much at all because they don't hold a lot of water, and I don't find that I reach for them much. I would rather, if it were between the three, I would reach for the Neptune and then the Aqua Elite for details. So these, if you get them on sale or you have them, that's fine. They're great for detail. It's just a synthetic brush. They're really economical. And again, if you haven't bought them yet, I would go with the Aqua Elite line myself, but that's just me, and I'm going to show you why. I do at the same time really like the point on the Velvet Touch Long Round size 8. It has held up really well, and it's very much like the Escoda ones that I was reviewing before that are the Perla. The Perlas are great. I find that I like the Perla better. I like the weight and the quality of this brush by Escoda better than the Velvet Touch. But again, the price point, although you can get these for like, you know, nothing, like under $20 right now, this one I think is at like a lot of craft stores, and maybe you can get an additional discount on it. So they're not really comparable, but at the same time, it's a good like brush if you just want those fine line details. But we're going to do a water test in just a second so you can see. So in other words, my favorites are the Neptune, and that's why I got like all of the flats. I actually have more flats somewhere, and I don't know where they are. I have to find them. But these ones I reach for the most, and this is the 1/2 inch flat, the 1 inch flat, and the 3/4 inch flat, and they have that beautiful sea glass handle with the gold barrels, and they are very, very soft. They have snap to them though, as you can tell. They're very snappy. Are they as snappy as this? No, this is like really tough. You know what I mean? You can see it's tough. It holds no water, and it doesn't do anything. I would use this probably for gouache. But this is great for watercolor, and I do so many things with these brushes in particular. They're so much fun to use. At the same time, Aqua Elite has a great flat, and it's got more snap. Less snap than this, holds more water, as you can see. It is kind of similar to Sable. If I were going to think about how I like the snap, it is like that, but it doesn't hold as much water as Sable, still less. So, you know, it's hard to mimic actual beautiful Kolinsky Sable brushes, but they do a pretty good job. Not as good as Escoda, but still I have used these a ton and love them. I think my favorite brush in this series, actually, now that I'm talking about it, is this one, and it's a long round. I've been a big fan of long rounds from day one, and this one is the long round size 12 Aqua Elite. It comes in a set, so you can buy a set of these, and I think I originally just bought 2 sets, and that's how I got all of these brushes, were from the 2 sets. And then here, I think I originally bought a set that like had a quill and stuff and one of the flats, and that's how I tested this out, loved it, and went and bought all of the brushes when they had a sale. So I will link up where you can get these on sale and give you an additional 10% off if you really want to get some of the Neptune or Aqua Elites. Okay, so let's move my other brushes away here, and we're going to just do some water tests. So before I do, let me tell you the colors that I'm going to be going through here. So Roman Szmal is a beautiful set of watercolor. You know, I'm a big Schminke fan. I've painted with everything. Quar, Sinelli, I have everything. Literally, I have tons of everything. But it's because I do so much watercolor. And when I found out about Roman Szmal, I just found out about them last year. And I think it was in August, and I have been in love with my set ever since. I actually got the wood box set, which they are restocking right now, but it's a great set. You know, I mean, it really is a well-made set, and I have enjoyed every single color. Some of the most popular colors that I've used in here are in this set, and it's half the price. And it's on sale right now. So I want you to take a look at this set because it does offer you so many options, and it's got some great colors in it if you can't get a hold of the wood set, like if they've sold out of it, or you don't want to spend, you know, over $200 as your first entry into Roman Szmal watercolor. So in this set, this one is the AQUARIUS set of 28. And the colors that I love in this set that I think I use the most are Nickel Azo Yellow. And I'm just going to grab, excuse me, my, this is the Neptune 3/4 or 1/4, or oh my gosh, hello, Neptune 1/2 inch flat brush. And you're going to get to see, so these are dry paint right now. I have not pre-wet these paints, and look at that. Full color. Oh, I need to move this. I'm sorry. There we go. There you are. I'll leave it up in the corner. So just out of the box, without even pre-wetting it, that is the Nickel Azo Yellow PY150. It is stunning. It's gorgeous. And this this watercolor brush, see the Neptune, it's just lovely. I mean, like, you can move so much water around with this brush. It really is nice. I enjoy using this brush so much. So this comes in the 3/4 inch, which you wouldn't really want to use that on this sheet of paper, the 7 by 10 inch. You would want this for like the 30 inch or the 20 inch pieces of paper. But still, I do love having a 3/4 inch, and you definitely don't need the 1 inch unless you're going to be painting larger. So all you really need is the 3/4 inch, I think, is the most used one. And I went and bought the 1/2 inch and the 1/4 inch because I just really love the brush, and I still use them. I think they're great brushes. Okay, so we did that one. The next color out of this set that I love is one called it's called Cherry Quin Red, and I'm going to get, let's see, a long round or script. This is the Neptune 4 script. No, you know what? Let's do the flat because you need to see the flat in comparison. Okay, so this is the 3/4 inch Aqua Elite flat, and let's get the cherry. Oh, how I love this cherry. This is cherry is like a very, very soft red. It's really beautiful. And again, does not require a ton of re-wetting. Now you can see right away when I struck that paper, did you see how you just get like a dry brush effect? But you can push some nice color. And the thing I like about this brush is this. I can wet it and I can push some color around, but I can also add some details. So if I wanted to strike through things, it allows me to do that. And I can't do that with the Neptune. The Neptune will deliver an amazing amount of color, but it will not let me do like these details, more details. So that's a great thing that this brush has that the other one doesn't do. But at the same time, what I find that I use a lot are these ones, which are the Escoda Prado flats. And I feel like they're a much better weight. The handle's a lot nicer. And you can kind of get them, you know, like in sets at like $30, especially right now because there is a sale on a set of these. So, you know, it's something to consider. But is this a great brush? It's an amazing brush. Like literally, you will not ever want to not paint with this brush. But I still feel that I need this and this together, right? Like I need a Neptune flat for when I want that looser style, and then I use this to get like just a little more in there. You know what I mean? Like a little more detail. So that's where I am with that. So that's the snap, and allowing me to just kind of give it a little more power punch, right? The Mottler's a really fun brush to use, and I've used this a ton. So let's grab another color. This is by the Aqua Elite. This comes in one of their sets, so you can actually get this in one of their sets. And I'm going to grab another. Now, this watercolor set that I'm talking about, it has a scarlet red, it has a permanent alizarin crimson, which is a beautiful red, It has a yellow ochre. It has a permanent yellow PY139, which is amazing. It has a PY154 yellow, which is a Benz yellow, and a titanium white, which you could use the titanium white to add little lights back into your watercolor, or you could mix it with a color to get those pastels. So it depends on what you paint and what you paint like. But the Quin Magenta is one of my favorite colors, and that is in this kit, and I think you will love it. It was also in the wood kit, so let's see if I can get my big brush into my Quin Magenta here. Okay, so does not hold a lot of water. You see what I mean? That's the Aqua Elite. But at the same time, if I want to get a lot of color, I can just keep adding water to this and just try to really dig in there and get color. And look at that. Look at that beautiful wash. So this is a great brush to, once you do get the water going, is to do stuff like this. So I could literally like build out color on the bottom. Look at that Quin Magenta. It's beautiful. And then I can carry the color like that. So this is a great brush for that. So if you're doing like landscapes or stuff like that, then this is really fun to be able to use to like kind of push your color around. And you can still do like, you know, interesting, very, very loose effects with it by far. Really, you know, you can add color. There's a lot you can do with these. I mean, you just have to be creative. I mean, no brushes are bad. They really aren't, because they get your color onto the paper. And even if you have to dump water on your paper, you can manage. You just have to get used to watercolor and practice, you know. You get to a point where pretty much you could paint with your fingers and come out with something good. So don't beat yourself up too much. All right, so more colors that are in this set that I love are Dioxazine Violet, one of my all-time favorite colors. So let's use this brush, because this is one of my favorite long rounds by Princeton Aqua Elite. It's the size 12. And let's grab the Diox Violet. It's PV37. And not bad, huh? Right out of there. I did not pre-wet them. I literally did not pre-wet them. So I'm going to wet the brush again and grab more, and we're going to just kind of add some interesting little effects to the bottom of these flowers here. And one of the fun things that I can do with this brush is I can roll it. I used this brush to roll out very, very loose flower petals, and I really enjoyed it. I like it because I do this a lot with my long rounds, but I liked the way that, see how it like leaves different bits of color, right? Like it leaves some like really striking darker tones of color, but then it also gives you, where the belly is, it gives you more water, which flushes away some color. So I have this like this double option here going, which I think is really, really cool to do florals. You know what I mean? So I can like literally roll color onto the paper and play with it that way. And then being that it's a long round, you have the option of getting, you know, like neat little strikes. You can literally use it as a kind of a script. This was as small as it will really go, and the point does bend a little bit, right? Because it's not the most expensive brush here. I mean, we're not talking about like, you know, like Escoda. Escoda has a lot more going for it in terms of that. But at the same time, I've used this brush for 4 years. So it's a synthetic brush. It's still a very good brush. It's still excellent quality. There's nothing wrong with it, and it paints really wonderfully. So you can do that with this brush. Now, can I do that with other brushes? Yes, totally can do that with other brushes. Like if you like the Escoda line, you can do that with a Prado brush. So any of the Prados, whether it be long or short handle, you can do that with those, because most of them have enough of a belly to do it. You could also still do it with the Ultimo, but you could definitely do it with the Versatil. The Versatil would definitely do that for you. So that would perform really, really well. If you had like a long round even, which I love, this is the Versatil long round that I pretty much use now to do that with. So let's grab the Ultramarine Intense, which is one of my favorite colors, and that is also in this new Roman Szmal set. So let's get enough water here on my brush. This is the Escoda Versatil, and I wanted to show you how I use it so you can see it easily does the same type of thing as the other. And on top of it, I can do the lines, you know, like for stems and things like that. And I just love it. I love the handle, and I love the feel of this brush. So I have completely converted to these brushes and gotten these in different sizes, and that has replaced the Aqua Elite for me. And that's just my personal likes about the brush. I just love it. And I mean, it's got a beautiful big belly, and it's a lot different. You know, you can see the I don't know if it will focus enough, but you can see the difference in the length of the long, and I don't know if you can see the difference in the hair. I can. The hair shafts are beautiful in this one, and this one a little bit cheaper, right? Like you can see the cuts on the hair here. It's like every hair has been hand shaped, and we have like a very, very good point, and it's just the hair is just better. For some reason on these, the hair is like, it's like they've cut it to the angle, where these they're laid in. So a much different experience for sure on the brushes. Okay, so another color that I love, Shadow Violet. Oh my goodness, that color is amazing, and I'm gonna have to switch eventually here, go with something else. So Shadow Violet is a beautiful color, and I'm trying to think of what, I guess I'll use the round. This is an 8 round, and this is an 8 round on Aqua Elite, and I have a long round and I have a little round size 4. Okay, we don't really need these. Let's do the Neptune with Shadow Violet. Shadow Violet is a beautiful color. Shadow Violet is like this mix of like a blue gray with pink. It is so beautiful. So it's like this beautiful, add water, so you definitely need, and it's got this texture in it. Let me see if I can get closer. Look at how pretty that is. So I need this to show off the color, because if I don't add water to it, because it's got granulation and it's got that pink like undertone with the gray, it needs the water to be able to bounce off this color. But look at how pretty this is. Isn't that beautiful? You see the violet? There's violet, gray, and a little bit of pink in Shadow Violet, and that's in that kit as well. That's a beautiful brush, right? Did a great job. So let's try and do something similar with another color with the Aqua Elite Round size 8. The next color I'm going to pick for this is probably, I'm trying to think of what else is kind of similar to that. Well, maybe we'll do indigo. Oh, no. Let's do lavender. Lavender's beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to grab some lavender. This is in the new set that I was telling you about. And I'm going to do some, this is great for dry brushing because it does not hold, you could tell it does not hold a lot of water. So I'm just going to evolve a little bit of a rose, and rinse my brush out and see if I can just get it to soften out. Now it's good to push the color along. You see that? So I did a little dry brushing, and then I'm kind of going in and smoothing out the color. So I'm just pushing the color around with the brush. Now this is something that if I used this brush to do it, it would give you a much softer effect. This one will maintain a lot of the sharpness. So that's how I use these brushes. But at the same time, you can additionally use a brush like this to get very, very fine elements and lines. So like, because this is around with a little bit of a point, it doesn't have a, yeah, they're about the same. They're the same point. I actually think this Neptune looks like it's in better shape than my Princeton Aqua Elite. I feel like the Aqua Elite, they just look like they've been cut on the tops. They look like somebody took scissors and cut them instead of just, you know how usually they shape brushes so well that they don't look like they've been cut. They look like they've been hand shaped and hand put together. And the problem with the Aqua Elite, even though it works and it's a great brush, but it doesn't really give you that like feel of quality. And they are very light brushes. I think this one is way nicer. The Neptunes are way nicer than the Aqua Elite. But again, guys, you know, let me remind you, I don't want to be too picky here. I have like so many brushes to choose from. And to be honest with you, they're all fine. They're all good. But I mean, if you want to be at the cream of the crop, top of the line right off the bat and not switch up brushes, then, you know, definitely watch some of my other videos, because I will always tell you the best brushes. But again, I would paint with Neptune anytime. I like Neptune a lot. All right, so let's look at the script, and this is a script size 1 and a script size 4 in the Neptune line. And then I don't really have a script in the Aqua Elite. I wonder why. Probably just because it doesn't hold enough water. But I do have a small round size 2 that we could play with a little bit. So let's get one of the greens from the kit. So they have cobalt blue, ultramarine intense, which we did, phthalo blue, indigo, Payne's gray, Aquarius green, permanent green light, hooker's green. All these are in this kit. Phthalo green, all in the one palette. Blue Ridge burnt sienna, great color to make neutrals, but it also has neutral tint. So like literally it has a neutral tint, and it has Aquarius black, which is PBK11, which is granulating. And that is beautiful. You can actually use that in a lot of things in your mixes. But oh, are we seeing the granulation? Look at how beautiful this is. Shadow violet. Got to remember that, right? It is gorgeous. Let me show you the Payne's gray. So Payne's gray is really pretty in Roman Szmal. This is the Princeton script size 4. Look at that beautiful color. Okay, I'm going to get you some more here, just so that you can see the different tonal qualities of it. Isn't that so pretty? See that beautiful color? Just going to build out my flowers just a bit so that we have the different tonal values of the Payne's gray. I love the Payne's gray by this company. Roman Szmal has a gorgeous Payne's gray. So that's a beautiful script right there. Holds a lot of water. It's a small size 4. It's like a very, very long round almost, because it's got like a belly. So like one thing that you might be interested to know. So like in the Escoda, the VERSATIL size 4 is a long round. But if you look, the thing I love about long rounds is they have a point, but then a long belly, like a bigger belly. And The Princeton Neptune script has that. It has that same shape. It's a little bit smaller, but I think it really does stand up to my experience of the Escoda VERSATIL. Some of you might think that the shorter one, being the long, round, shorter, is actually easier for you to use than the VERSATIL size 4 because it's longer. This is more of a professional brush. So in that, maybe you need a little more experience getting used to it, but don't give it up. If you get one of these, it's an amazing brush and you will keep coming back to this brush. You will love it. It's my favorite brush, but I do love this. This worked great. You know, I feel like it delivers a very, very nice, even coloring. I'm going to add a little water to the center and push some of this Payne's Gray out because I just really love the qualities of it, and I don't want it to be too even here on the page. I actually want it to be like these. We don't want to have too even. Okay, so that did a great job. So the next one is the really thin one. This is the little script size 1. So what I'm expecting this to do is hold a significant amount of water despite the fact that it's a tiny little script. And it does. And that's what you want this to do. So I can get this really, really ridiculous thin line. And at the same time, I can add water and I can build out. Haha. Cool, right? So you take your script and wow. Now you know you want to take my floral course. You know you do, because I teach you stuff like that. Look at that craziness. So this is the Hooker's Green. And it's a gorgeous color. It's such a gorgeous color. Isn't that pretty? Let's do it one more time so you can see it. You know you want to grab your script right now and go and do this one and back, and then just fill in the center if you want. Isn't that great? So easy to do. So easy to do. Okay, so we painted with those. Now here's the Aqua Elite. What can I do with this? I would say I'm going to grab some more of the Shadow Violet because the only thing I can really do with this is details. So maybe we will just kind of add some more shadowing to our flower. And if you notice, I have to keep dipping it back in the water because it loses water in a heartbeat, right? But it does allow me to kind of just go through and add some details. Now, I would say, do you need this brush? I would say absolutely not, because it loses so much water so quickly. And that to me is annoying. So I would much rather use the tip of even this big old brush because I can get the same out of the tip of this that I can out of this, but this will not run out of paint or water. So it does require a little more skill, right? A little more trial and error. But even this, even the Neptune held on to the water at the 1 or the 4 with a very similar point. So the 1 is equal to the 2 on the Aqua round, so you don't need this small brush. I can't even imagine what you would need it for, because why not just use like the Neptune size 4 round or the 1 round? I get more water and more retention, and it will hold, you know, and give me what I need. So that's my opinion on those. Let me know if you disagree or you agree. It doesn't matter. I'm happy to hear it. I just don't mess around with that stuff. I don't mind at all, so don't worry. You're not going to offend me in any way, shape, or form, I can assure you. Okay, So next, I have some cat's tongues and I have some quills. Maybe we'll look at the quills. Okay, so let's look at the quills. What other beautiful color can I show you here that you will just fall in love with? Probably I would say the phthalos, you know, and indigo. Oh my goodness, indigo. Yeah. All right, let's do indigo. So, do I have any place here to do indigo? Yeah, we'll just add it to here. I'm going to think of something. Okay, so of course, this is a quill. Huge water, right, in the Neptune. And huge amount of water in the Aqua Elite. Both come to a point. Both are really well shaped. Beautiful brushes. I like them both so far. Let me zoom out here and we're going to see what we can do. So I think I'm going to paint with the indigo first. So let's take the Neptune with the indigo because it's got so much water. And we're not going to do a standard like, let's see how much of this area I can paint. We're just going to paint. So if I want to establish a ground line for here, you can see already what on earth did a big quill like this run out of water for, right? Why did it do that? That's what I'm saying. That's the only thing that I get a little bit like, okay, so we'll fill it with water again and it ran out of paint. Is that the strangest thing or what? Now, if I use any of these from Escoda, of course, they don't run out of paint or water for days, right? Even the Da Vinci Cosmetop, which I just reviewed recently, this one holds a lot of water, mix B, right? So why does this run out of water and paint so quickly? I mean, I'm dipping it in the paint. I'm adding more paint, but I really have to work at it, and I just don't get that. So if you have this brush and you feel like you just aren't quite able to get everything you need out of it, and you could be painting really small scale, so maybe that, you know, it's fine. Is it a good brush? Yeah, it's a good brush, but I just can't understand. See, it bends like squirrel, but I can't understand how a brush this big can run out of water like that quickly. That's what I don't understand about this brush and why it still looks so new, because I never use it. I just don't grab for it. It's just very frustrating. All right, so let's try this one and see if this is any better. So this is the Aqua Elite Big Quill, right? Let's get the phthalo turquoise. Okay. Not bad. It was actually holding more water and color than the other one, and I just can't figure that out for the life of me. Pretty good, but still very different. Like, this color should be so much bolder and brighter, and I don't know why it doesn't drink it in. It just doesn't drink it in. It does give me a pretty even coverage, and I can do a nice wash, but it does not drink it in. And it's very strange. So I have to kind of go over it a few times. But you can, because of the point, you can actually get decent lines and really interesting, you know, like scribbles and things like that with this brush. So if you like to paint this way, pretty good. But if you're going to spend the money on this quill, I would not get this one or the Neptune. I do not recommend the quills. I think you can get so much more for your money with these, and these look so nice, but they actually don't work as compared to other quills that I have that are even smaller than those. Like, I can get more out of my Castanea Da Vinci, and this is only a little size 2. You know, I can definitely get more out of these, and these are the Ultimo size 14, 18, the Ultimo size, or this is another 18. This is just from a special set by David Taylor, which is a great set, by the way. Yeah, so I'm thinking about getting a Cosmotop, actually, quill. Maybe, I don't know. I think I need some bigger quills. I just don't really have a lot of them. I have like smaller ones. Probably because I was hoping these would do it, but I have so many rounds at this point. Now, I would bet that maybe the rounds might even perform better, but let's see. Let's see if they do. So let's just grab this, and I'm going to grab another color here, the Cobalt, what is it? Cobalt Blue PB28. Let's see which one it is. Cobalt Blue. Oh, do I have Cobalt Blue? Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay. So, let's make sure I got lots of water in here and lots of color. Yeah, see, it actually did better than the quill. So this is the round, but still, for as big as this brush is, this is a 14 round. It does not need to be running out of water that quickly. That's not a lot. And you don't need to have to make several scrubbing passes over anything. You know what I mean? And it's not really the most even wash either, and I'm not too thrilled with that. So again, another brush that I kind of sit on and now I don't use at all. And I feel like I don't remember if I struggled with it or, you know, if I just worked around it, which mostly we just work around brushes, right? So no sense in showing you the 12, because for as big a brush as this is, it should be doing more. And it's not working hard enough for me. But I do like the cat's tongues. These are neat because they have some really interesting shape. So the oval wash, or cat's tongue is commonly what it's called. I have some squirrel ones that I absolutely love. And these are real squirrel cat's tongue or oval wash, size 24, size 18, and size 8. And I do enjoy those. I actually have another one. This one's size 12. I was playing with these the other day, and they were really fun to do orchids with. But these will do the job. I think that these are pretty good brushes. I like the oval washes in these because I like the shape. There's a lot of other ones, though, out there for sure. And, of course, Escoda has them, too. I do not have an oval wash by Escoda, though. Interesting. I did not think about that just until now. So let's give these a little try here. Okay. I'm going to grab Aquarius green because you need to see this color. This is going to be a game changer color for you. Aquarius green, and it's by Aquarius, right? So if I take the cat's tongue and I twist it, it's going to give me the ability to get like some different shapes. Now, the problem with this one, and I remember this and doing that, is that it doesn't like give me the twist like that I really need, that I get in the squirrels, because they're lighter. So maybe instead of leaves, well, you can do like these kind of leaves. Yeah, that'll do that. It kind of looks more like petals, though, right? You might actually have to go on the other side with this cat's tongue. You know, these brush reviews have been really, really exciting to do because I haven't picked up a lot of these brushes in so long. I've been making so many different tutorials, but not with a lot of different brushes. I just have my favorites typically. Okay, so don't love it, but it works. I think I like the Aqua Elite one a lot better. But isn't this a beautiful color, though? So if you were going to use the Aqua Elite one, the thing it has that the other one doesn't is it will allow you to do a very fine line as well. So I can I can paint the lines. Does it do it as good? It actually doesn't do it as well as the liner. The liner actually does a better job. But let's see what kind of shape we get from this. Much better. See, that's what I was trying for before. So lay the brush down and then turn it. Lovely. Yes, happy with that. Lay the brush down and turn it out, and you get a nice shape on your leaf. You could also get, you know, some decent amounts of water too, as you can see through this one. So this is a win. I like this one, but this is a 3/4 inch oval round, so it's significantly larger than the 1/2 inch, but you know, not really. This is a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch. This is a good one though. I like this one because the point, because you can do more with the point. So if you're going to get an oval round, depending on what you use oval rounds for, I prefer to use these cat's tongue to make petals and florals, because I can't really think of anything else I would use them for that I wouldn't use something else, you know? All right. Well, there we go. So we did a lot of brush testing again. The velvet touch, you know, listen, if velvet touch is what you have, you can see that it's just not holding any water at all. I got it to hold some, but it runs out really quick. So this would be good to push paint around, right? But the thing is you get a lot of dry brushing with it, like it's completely out of water. Yeah, that's why I just didn't even bother, because it's not really a watercolor brush, in my opinion. I don't think that the velvet touch should be used for watercolor. I think it'd be fine maybe with gouache, you know, because you don't want like transparent gouache. So gouache would be good, but I wouldn't recommend this for watercolor at all. And if you're using it, then fine, but maybe you're doing like really fine details and you just don't know that there are other brushes available that are better. So just a food for thought. But again, if you guys are using any of these brushes and you absolutely love them, everyone has a different hand, everyone has a different style, and you really do get used to whatever you're using. So you can, even if you don't know that you're struggling, you could actually be struggling and, you know, maybe even put up with it, right? All right, so I'm going to take some shadow violet on this, this gray, and just add, now that it's dry, a little layer to my little flowers here. Not that I'm going to do anything with this painting, but I just want to give you some ideas of things that you could do. And I'm also going to add another layer, because this is so textured and so beautiful, to my flower. Because flowers are not, you know, they are 3-dimensional. So our flower needs to have, you know, more than just that back face. It needs to have front face and things. Isn't that pretty? So, so pretty. So don't forget to add layers to your flowers, because they can't be left alone on their own. They need dimension. We need one of those rolling brushes. There we go. And let's take a little bit of cobalt. You could mix the cobalt with the lavender and just get some beautiful effects into your roses just by rolling the brush, and you give it just that, see that nice little dimension. Look how pretty that is. Isn't that beautiful? It's just a light little like randomness that the brush will give you, and you don't need to do a lot. You just do a little bit. And that's just mixing a little cobalt with that lavender. You will love that set. So if you're looking for a set, I really think, whether you're a professional painter or just getting started, Roman Szmal is at such a great price. even when it's not on sale, that this set will not steer you wrong. You will absolutely love it and have such a ball painting with it. And it's got a mix of beautiful colors that you can't get anywhere else, along with some really beautiful convenience colors like the greens that are just so pretty and so lovely to paint with. I think you'll be surprised by the colors, and I think you'll also find that there are so many other combinations that you can come up with from this kit that that will just shock and surprise you. You know, like these colors are just, they're beautiful to me. I think they're so brilliant. And you have the mix all in the one kit of like all of these brights and then all of these moody colors. So let me grab my sketchbook before I go just to show you some things. These are things that I've painted with Roman Szmal paints. So I wanted you to see what's possible. Isn't that beautiful? So there's the violet and the hooker's green mixed with the Aquarius green and a little bit of the gray, the shadow violet in the center. And this is the Aquarian green mixed with hooker's green. And then this is actually, this color is Caput Mortem. So you would have to buy this separately because I don't think it's in this kit. No, I don't see it in this one. So you could add that one. The Caput Mortem is a really, really pretty color. And then I painted this with a Roman Szmal. So this here is the, let me see which red it is. Permanent Alizarin Crimson. And that's in your kit, mixed with a little bit of Quin Magenta and a little bit of the Dioxazine Violet. So that's where you get there. And then these are the hooker's green again with the Aquarian green. Can't go wrong with those two greens. And you've got a bunch of greens in that kit. Then this is again, same greens. I mixed the violet with the magenta and washed it out and got this color. Then this one is that Nickel Azo Yellow. Beautiful color. See how you get like different tones? It's really pretty. You could also mix some yellow ochre into this to get some of these like highlights would be nice. Or you could take another color that you have in this kit is the Blue Ridge Burnt Sienna, and that's a really nice one. Or even the sepia is really nice. The sepia has a little bit of PBK 9 in it, which is really pretty. So you could do a lot with those colors. And then these are the greens. This is Burnt Sienna, and this is Cobalt. Or no, wait, this is the Intense Blue, which you get in that kit. So that's pretty neat. You have an Ultramarine Intense in there. It's just, there's so many nice combinations that you'll be able to get. You know what I mean? This is the Shadow Violet mixed with the Magenta, mixed also with the Dioxazine Violet, and a little bit of the Magenta mixed with Crimson. You know, the Alizarin Crimson mixed into the center. And that's how I did these orchids. So pretty. Okay, that's another review for you. We extensively, I think we really covered the Aqua Elite and the Neptune lines. Man, we ended up going through a lot of these brushes. That was a big one. But in any case, please use my links down below. If you want to buy the brushes, you'll get an extra 10% off. And I will always change the links to find the cheapest price available to you guys all over the world. Right now, that's where you'll find them. So go to the links and go have fun and shop and enjoy yourself. That's how I come up with so many interesting things to review. And then if you have any suggestions for me on brushes you'd like to see, as you guys know, I have a ton of them. I have so many and I have more coming. So let me know. Happy painting, you guys. Good to see you again.